Well, good evening, good evening, everyone. That's about how it's going. Oh my gosh. Good evening. How's it going, y'all? Adam is with me here today. Rodney is not here because he had to work or something like that. But welcome to another night of Unplugged Live. We are Unplugged DIY Solar as a collective. I am Eric with East Texas Homestead, Home Energy Independence, and this is Adam with Adam Delay. That's not your channel. What is your actual channel? It's
Yeah,
Adam.
it's just
Yeah,
Adam delay.
it's just Adam Delay. All right.
Yeah.
I thought there
I'm
was
too
something
lazy
else
to
in there.
figure out something else to put on there.
And typically we'd have Rodney Hunt here with us as well. But if you're new, thanks for being here. Welcome. We have a whole bunch of people who are always hanging out every Thursday night. And we just hang out, have a good time, talk about solar, talk about what we're doing. Um, you guys can bring us questions. We all learn a lot. Sometimes we have special guests. Sometimes we give things away. So that's kind of the rundown of what we do. And I fumble over my words all the time. That's just how it goes. But thanks for being here. Adam, what's going on with you?
Oh, just really getting kind of depressed because the sun is just disappearing more and more and more.
Yeah.
I know that as soon as I see October 1st, I have 4 months where my panels don't get much love at all
Mm,
from the sun. And so I'm actually looking at potentially doing some quick expansions,
mm.
and I'm going to
All
see
right.
if some of that falls into place before the snow starts to fly. We'll
Yeah.
see. Um, but I've got some
Do you?
space on my barn roof that we had chopped a tree down, so I'm gonna see
Ah,
if I can squeeze some more panels on there for at least getting me through the winter. But time will tell.
gotcha. Gotcha. Well, cool, man. Hopefully, you'll be able to get that done before the snow flies, as you say. I don't know what that's like here. Every once in a while here down in Texas, we get either ice storm or every once in a while, a little bit of snow. But
Every 5
let's,
years.
yeah, something like that. So, as is our custom, place QQQ in your live chat if you have a question for us so that we'll be able to see it. Um, if not, there's no guarantee I'm going to be able to see it. And we're going to go through and take your questions. I've also got a preview of the biggest project that I've undertook so far. And I want you guys to kind of help me walk through this, just to, well, help me with it. And that'll be clear when we get there. But let's go ahead and say hey to some of the people in the comment section. Um, of course, Unji Box or whatever, 2000 Clippy. As always, one of the first here. Check it out. Good to see you. Scrolling. Retro Z Machines here. Let's see. We've got just Mike Britt. Um, let's see. Seed of Abraham, welcome. Good to see you tonight. Mark, I wish they would go back to showing us what the actual names were instead of um,
Yeah,
the handle, I guess.
that's
That's
YouTube.
yeah, YouTube made that
That's
change last
bad.
week. Color Maker. Let's see, who else do we have here? Adam Delay, he's in the house. Um, AGT Covert. Randy. And Daniel, and a whole bunch of you guys here. I'm going to have to just stop and we'll get back into, of course, Jim, Off Grid Wannabe, Rod Solar World. Man, guys, welcome. Thanks for being here, y'all. Man, um, it's been one of those weeks. And then Adam today was like, hey, Eric, you're up to host today, right? I was like, nope, thought it
Surprise!
was Rodney. So then, but sure enough, Rodney had already let us know that he was going to be at work. So I missed that. Anyway, um, while you guys are queuing up your questions, I'm going to go ahead and jump in and just show you what I'm looking at. And hopefully everything's going to cooperate here with the technical stuff. Okay, there's Adam. That's good. I got to share my screen, and I'm going to share Shaper 3D. It's this one here. Oh shoot. I I have to move the screen so that I can actually push the button. It hides on this smaller screen. There it is. Okay, cool. Hopefully y'all can see that all right. Let's see. Let me know if not. Well, I'm not looking at the comments, so it doesn't matter anyway. But I can see it on my screen. Adam, look all right on yours?
Yeah, looks good on my end.
All right, cool. So here's what's going on, everybody. This is my house. For those of you who have seen my channel before over at East Texas Homestead, you know we took a $3,500 double wide and turned it into our home. It was a crazy undertaking. Took about 4 years to get it to where it was livable. But that was it. So behind it, I want to build a huge back porch, at least huge for the size of the house. So this would be roughly 16 foot in depth and about 60 feet in width or in length, or however we look at that. So that's man, if I could get this to cooperate, that'd be nice. So that's a pretty decent sized porch for us. I think it'll drastically, like it'll add a significant, over a third of our living space. And I want it to be covered. So here's the question that that I'm running into. Oh, and also I'm going to do a traditional timber frame build here with well, at least that's the goal right now. With all the fun joints,
That's gonna
and
be slick.
I think it's going to look fantastic when we're done. I have a good amount of the lumber already cut, or not cut, felled the trees. I'm going to need some more of the long stuff, but we'll get there. So I want to use, and also this points, like we are looking at this point directly south. Okay, so the sun tracks just like this, right in the sky, just perfectly. So the front of my house is a little too close to the trees, and it also has, the eave or the gable, I guess, or whatever it is, sticking out off the front. So this isn't exactly the profile of the home. So setting the panels back and using them kind of in an unconventional tilt for a porch is going to give us great solar exposure. Um, and so I can't pass up this opportunity. Now, here's the question that I want you guys in the comments to help me with. I do not want to do like a just like a hobo job of just silicone caulking and wood
Hey,
screws.
hobo
No offense,
job,
no
cock.
offense, no offense to some people in the audience or on the panel who may or may not have done something like that. I would like to do a bit more of a professional mounting system. And if I can't find one, I'm going to go with um, the Hobo Tech stuff. Actually, not Hobo Tech, but he's actually a pretty cool channel. So do any of you guys in the comments know of a mount that allows for the panels to be squeezed together with a pad or a silicone strip or anything like that? But instead of actually having typically you have a bolt that goes between the two panels that clamps down onto either side and holds it together. But I need it to grab from underneath, almost like the and I just put together the Unirack. Unirack? Nope, that's not it. Whatever it is, Integra Rack. Just
Oh
put
yeah.
together the Integra Rack. It's got these little hooks that just like grab a hold of it and pull it together from underneath. but I need it to be something that has two of those and then pulls them together tight, um, instead of having that 2-inch gap in between. So I'll be checking the comments here in a second, and if any of y'all have any input on that. Um, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I've seen, and maybe it'll give you guys some inspiration, even just for, um, not necessarily a professional store-bought mounting soft or hardware, but maybe just ideas of how to do some of this DIY. So I'm going to stop sharing for a moment, go back over here, and I think this is the one. Oh, and I've got to get out so I can actually push the button again. Fun. There it is. All right. So I'm going to flip through some slides here. Get back over this way. So this is really similar. I just found all of this stuff I found today while looking around, and that's pretty close to what I'm looking to do right there. But that doesn't help me figure out the racking in any way, shape, or form. This looks like very similar to these black lines here. Look very similar to the like the Iron Ridge type railing. But then once again, you would have gaps in between each of these panels. Actually, let me start back over here on this one. Yeah. So these guys have phenomenal carports and gazebos and stuff like that. Like this is the ideal right here. But I can't tell from looking at their photos how they actually mount this stuff. It's they don't have any of the right angles. This one's really cool too. Put a tractor under there. Anyway, it's really beautiful work. Here's another angle of what they've got. Looks like this clamp like grabs a hold of the outside, but I can't. There's nothing in between. There's virtually no gap. Here's another shot from underneath. Now this one's a little interesting because you can see they've got a nylon or some sort of weather strip already affixed to the panel here. But I still can't tell how these, like this, it almost, are these little dog bone looking deals? Is that what slides underneath and clamps down and grabs onto the inside? I don't think I can zoom in on that anymore, not in this view. Yeah, like right here, does this slide over, pivot into the rail or the channel, and then like maybe screw down to clamp it? I don't know. I can't find anything like this, but it looks like they've got black gaskets in between everything. Adam did send this over to me. I have seen these before. I don't know if y'all have seen this. That seems like it could work for some things, but then the problem is if you've got your clamp, the standard, the standard clamp where it's got the screw going between the panels holding onto the tops, then you're going to have to silicone all around that, and that just seems like it's going to cause problems. Now this one right here, infinity rack, this would solve all the problems. It's beautiful. If I could afford it, I would go with this today. But just the top would be over 20 grand, without the panels and without any of the, the posts and beams. And it is I guess they sandwich these big old 700 watt panels, stacking them sideways going down, and then they put the silicone strip between them or the gasket between it, and then they've got a gutter system that rains out from. Actually, no, it's not a gutter system. They that's one of their big selling points. Is not. It's just a weird beam that catches anything that might drip. But anyway, it's pretty cool. These guys are awesome. If you guys have really deep pockets, um, have this thing installed, and it's not going anywhere. So, um, and then I found this, which doesn't really help me with anything, other than that's a cool deal right there. But that's it. So I don't know, Adam. While I was talking, did you see any comments come through that may have had some ideas or anything?
A couple of them are tagged with QQQ that you'll be able to see.
Okay.
But some are, asking. Um, let's see. Some are commenting on how you called me out for my hobo. Some were saying unistrut, the rubber foam gasket. But I didn't see any comments from folks that have seen those clamps from underneath.
Yeah.
I can't think of any either that would be able to link two together.
Actually, let me see if I'm going to grab one of the Integra rack pieces of hardware real quick.
All right. Leaves me out in the lurch. I think that's going to be a sweet setup, though. I mean, what, 60, what do you say, 60 feet long, 16 some foot deck space. It's going to give him a lot of production. And for those of you that forgot or don't remember or didn't know, Eric's losing his free Knights plan at the end of the year. So he's got to get solar up really fast to be able to combat that.
Yes, for sure. So the Integra rack, hopefully that'll be in focus there. The way this, I don't know if y'all have seen this, but the way it works is they have a pipe, so to speak, that the panels will go on either side of. It's like one will go on here and one will go on this side, and then this will slide down into a slot here, and then as you tighten it up from the inside, it pulls the edge of the panel will go up underneath this, and it pulls it into this little spike here, connects the ground to it. I wish I had a better, here's a bill. So if this is the edge of the panel, this guy will go in like this, and it hooks on right just like that, right? And then it pulls the panel tight against the deal. What I'd need almost is two of these, like take this bolt, extend it out to where you've got it double sandwiched like this, right? And then you just run a long bolt all the way through it. And maybe that bolt goes into a plate like this and goes through it. And then that sits on your beam. And then that would hold the panels in place and hold them tight. Now that I'm saying that, I might have to
like some
buy a bunch of this hardware.
Needs.
Yeah. I might have to
all thread to go through both sides.
Yeah.
Or a long lag bolt. You should reach out to Integra Rack and see if you can get your hands on more of those clamps, because that kind of sounds like, I mean, run some neoprene strips between your panels and then use some of those to clamp everything down.
Yeah, that could actually be it right there. Okay. Well, we'll have to roll that around for just a bit while we look through some comments.
But yeah, let's see what everybody else says.
All right. I guess we'll start at the top and just move our way down. All right. So let's see. From Roy, Eric, what did you decide to do with your high voltage system? Okay.
You're gonna get asked this for like the next 6 months.
For the rest of eternity. Yeah. It is currently still sitting there. I've been going back and forth I've kind of stopped talking with Solus. Like we're just not not like there's anything wrong. It's just we've come to the end of what is possible for this machine. They could fix it with a hardware update, but they would rather just roll out a new inverter instead of try to fix this one. They could fix it with software, but then they said it would be a dangerous inverter. So in the meantime, we just have a inverter that's not going to work for what I need it to do. It is still down there connected. Everything's still just there. I'm really just waiting until I get another inverter to test, pull that one off the wall and try it out. I've even considered just taking this 12,000 XP out of the box, just sitting right there, taking that thing down there with 2 server rack batteries and just give it a whirl. But the thing about the 12,000 XP is it's like IP20 or something like that, rated. Is it IP20? Whatever. It basically it's protected enough to where you can't stick your finger into it and mess something up. But anything larger than your finger is gonna potentially destroy it. So there's no dust rating on it. There's no definitely no moisture rating. So anyway, until I get something better to put down there, it's just there. Yeah, thanks for asking though. Let's see. All right, how does series wiring through multiple poles of a breaker disconnect increase its voltage rating? How does series wiring through multiple panels or multiple poles of a breaker or disconnect increase its voltage rating? Are you following?
I'm trying to, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not either. So I will come back to that one. If anyone else has some input on that, go ahead and throw it down you can do it with a QQQ.
I mean, when you series a panel, when you put 2 panels in series, you're increasing the voltage. When you series 2 battery cells, you're increasing the voltage. So, when you series anything, you're going to increase the voltage while the amperage stays the same.
Right. But through multiple poles of a breaker or disconnect, how does that increase its voltage rating?
Yeah.
What are you trying
we need
to
more context?
Yeah, what are you trying to do? And then we'll maybe be able to assess that a bit better. All right, what do you guys think about the fuel cell instead of an ICE generator? Engineer 775 showed on his channel. I didn't see that one.
It just came out today.
I have no input. Sorry.
I think there was a 1600 watt limit on that it could output. So he had it set up on his solar shed, and it's right next to where his big 25K generator is. And so you hook up propane to this fuel cell, and it can generate, I think 1600 watts of power almost silently, as opposed to running, your outdoor generator, all the time. Right. I mean, conceptually, it's cool.
Yeah.
I don't think price-wise it's there yet for a lot of people to buy. You can parallel multiples together to get more output. But for, the first run of somebody doing something like that I don't know if it's a DIY size component, if it's marketed towards DIY or not. But I mean, conceptually, it's cool because nobody likes to hear the generator's running. That's half the reason we went solar, right?
Right.
I mean, it's silent power. So, I mean, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I'll have to go back and watch that one. Okay. So let's see. Where was I at? There we go. All right. Randy says, "What size posts were you getting, or what size posts, and where are you getting them?" I'm looking for 9x8x14s and can't find any in Texas. I'm getting them right off my property, and I'm doing 8x8 posts and 8x10 beams. Um, for the most part, there are some other sizes in there, but that's in general what I'm going for. Um, can't find any in Texas. Yeah, I guess you probably have to
Find a mill.
find a mill. If you're anywhere close to Tyler and you can find the trees, I'd be happy to work with you to get them milled up. It's always a lot of fun. Yep. So next question. All right. Ken says, "What CAD program are you using?" I'm using Shaper 3D. It's SHAPR 3D. It was the first accessible CAD program just ever. I know some of you guys can be like, "Man, I've been using AutoCAD since I was 12 years old," or whatever. And I grew up on the design side of things, Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, Dreamweaver, all of those. I guess those are all Adobe products. And then I went over and tried all of the different Pro CAD applications, and I was lost. It's like there had never been an application I couldn't pick up and just kind of fumble my way through. I had no idea on any of those. And then Shaper 3D came out, and they came out as an iPad first model, and with just your finger and the pen or the Apple Pencil. This is like 6, 7, 8 years ago or something. It made it to where I could design anything I wanted, and it was intuitive, and it's just, it's brilliant. And so I've been paying them, $40 a month or whatever for 8 years, because it's just I love having. Well, and honestly, part of it is I love having, like, my children have been able to go into Shaper 3D on the iPad or on their laptop, design something, and then print it that day on the 3D printer and fabricate things that, I mean, they're like 10 years old fabricating things out of CAD software. It's incredible. So yeah, Shaper 3D, it's the best. At least it was. I'm sure they're competing things out there now. And everything syncs across all your platforms. It's on all the major platforms at this point. Adam, do you use any CAD in your work?
Nope.
You ever tried?
Would love to learn, but never messed with any of it before.
Yeah.
I mean, the closest thing that I have done is I've used a few PCB maker programs in the past, but that's like small stuff compared to probably what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. What time is it? We got time. I'm going to jump over and just show y'all just a couple of things. Just while we're on that, then I promise we'll get back to the questions real quick. There we go. Oh shoot. I don't know why the button disappears until I go out of full screen. Seems to be a problem on this. Okay. So these are just a few of the things that we've done recently. I guess it's just the recent. But whenever I was doing, I don't know if any of y'all saw my server rack. I guess I'm gonna have to download these. My server rack um, Life Power for Tube video. I designed and printed up. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I never I never put out the file for people to download. Um, but yeah, so I should probably do that. Anyway, I built these as just an easy way to set a seventh battery on top of um, set a seventh battery up on top of your server rack. Actually, um, I don't know if yeah. So the battery actually sits in there. They're way too close here, but we've got the front and back, and then I was even able to design it to where I've got the holes right here so that the little wings that stick out on the side of the batteries would screw into it, so it would retain it. And anyway, just the ability to design those and then stick them on the 3D printer and just have them. Don't have to go buy anything. Um, and One of my boys was working on a coffee table with some reclaimed lumber. Um, and then this one over here is a timber framing tool that I'm designing so that I can easily create the measurements that I need. Each of these are on 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch, depending on what side, so I can scribe. I've got a little spot to put a loop. I can slide it down across the beam, and then I've got my perfect 1/2 inch marks to scribe along. And I've got a whole bunch of different ones that I'm going to build out. Um, but just having the freedom to do this and the ability is massive. Um, I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff. I was designing. My kids are doing just fun stuff. But then even to really complex. This is probably going to take too long to load, but this is one of my clients' um, sand separators for the oil and gas industry. And I'll go in here and make changes to their colors and stuff, and then put it on their website, and anyway, all that stuff. But yeah, that's it. I highly encourage you guys to learn how to do this stuff, and then just get a cheap 3D printer and have fun. Um, all right. Um, what is the angle of your solar array? Mark, good question. I think at that point I had it at 28 degrees, but I can't remember for sure. All the pergolas that I've seen and all the carports definitely have a much shallower angle. So I'm not sure from a structural standpoint if I should go a little more shallow or stay up there where it is. Um, I'm open to suggestions from the audience and from you guys as well. Because I'm just dipping my toe in the solar side, right? I've been this free nights guy for a long time.
Got to get super fancy in your fabrication and make it so that you can have a screw drive lift to adjust your pitch on your
Ooh,
panels. Hinge on the one side, and
man, yeah,
get
that'd be a
with
beefy screw.
Evan from Country View Solar, who
Yeah.
just got his little
Oh, with his
laser
new light.
table.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
pretty slick.
yeah, it was.
So he can cut you some metal pieces for you.
Oh yeah, love to get him to come on and show us how it works. Um, yes. So Retro Z Machine, absolutely. Remember to account for thermal expansion when placing the panels. That's why I don't necessarily want to just slam them up against each other with some caulking, right? I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want them to just start shattering in between there. Um, and won't that generate a lot of heat without the gap?
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, they're
you're still open
maybe.
air underneath.
Yeah, it's there's going to be a lot of ability to vent. Um, but yeah, I guess it will to some extent. Um, okay, so Mark says C channel with hide the gap. C channel will hide the gap and act like a water channel. Interesting. Um, okay, so just put some C channel in there and then find a way to anchor to the C channel. Hmm. Have to play around with that, probably in Shaper 3D. Let's see. Retro says, I think the sealant or packed rubber between the panels is a better idea. Use standard rails with panel spacing and a waterproof undersheet. So the waterproof undersheet, I'm going to put bifacials up there. So I definitely don't want to put anything between, you know, me and the panel underneath. Um, but maybe that's not what you mean by that.
Just buy a roll of flashing and then bend it to make your own thin gutters
Yeah.
that's lightweight enough that you can just kind of suspend it somehow underneath your main seam runs and then only seal off between your horizontal stretch
Hmm.
between your two rows, and then you've got your verticals that can just have that gutter
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
the
That's a
seams.
that's a really valid idea, and I'll have to play around with that one for sure. Did you look at? Let's see. Mark says, did you look at the Chico solar metal carport 4 vehicle model? I did, but then again, it also goes back to the crazy expensive. So I'd have to buy, I think, 2, 3 carport, and then an extra one or something. I don't remember the last time I looked at it,
Oof, yikes.
but I'd have to be like 3 different items. And then figure out how to get them to play nice together and all that. Um, yeah, just do a metal roof and mini rails. Yeah, I mean that would work. It's just I want to get the bifacial gain, and I don't want to. I don't want to add the extra roof. But I might end up going that route. I could change my mind for sure. Um, Retro Z Machine says above. I'm sure that was to answer one of the questions we had.
Oh, I saw that
Um,
one. I don't remember what it was.
And then Randy is talking about the Chico carport with the drip rails. It does, once again, comes back to price. Chico, if you're out there and you just want to send it all over to me, I'd be happy to put it up, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, off of that for a second. And Retro says they have fuel cell generators in Japan already. That's cool.
Oh yeah, they're ahead of us in a lot of these areas.
Yeah. Mike Solar Garage says, if you're using 2x4s or 2x6 wood beams, can you can you through bolt the panel to it? Probably. Um, Now, would that be like if you've got the rafter and butt the panels up to the rafter so that it's all flush at the top, and then through bolt, through that, I don't know what you call that side channel, side lip on the wrapper on the panels, um, but the seed channel on the sides of it, and then bolt all the way through. You could do that and then seal it, but then I'm gonna have issues with exposed wood, and since I'm milling all of this, it's not going to be treated. I don't know. Maybe that's not what you're envisioning. Might be thinking about a different way of doing it. Mike G says, Eric, why don't you just get another Solus since you've done all that work already? I could. I could. I've thought about that. Trust me, I've looked at a bunch of different possibilities. Yeah, that just doubles the standby consumption, and I don't know. It's not a terrible idea. It's probably one of the cheaper ways to do it at this point. Hmm. Okay. Randy says he's in Dallas, no trees. Yeah. We're 100 miles ish, roughly east of you there, and I don't know. I know there are a few commercial mills. There's one up north of us. I'm trying to remember where it is. I think it's kind of off 80, kind of in that direction. Like, but anyway, I think they do custom stuff. Might check into that. But yeah, I mean, it's just gonna have to find a custom mill that has trees. Back on the fuel cell, Retro Z Machine says Panasonic makes the modular fuel cell generators, and more so I say cabinets. I got to zoom in a little more so I can read it. More cabinets get more power. Okay. Oh. Rodney, who's supposed to be working, says maybe something like this, and I don't know what this is. Let me pull it up. See. Of course, I can't. Adam, can you find that link and either shoot it over to me in Slack, or have you already done that?
I think he already did.
Oh, okay. I see. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Rodney, thanks. Let me copy some of these links and get them in the browser real fast. Those are cool. At Walmart, nonetheless. Okay, copy link.
Yeah, Rodney's working.
That's why he's not here, guys.
Sending us all these links.
All right. I think there's one more. Oh, that was a YouTube video. Let me log out of Walmart real fast before I do that. Oh, my price changed and I logged out. That was interesting.
I'm not surprised.
Thinking Walmart. Okay, so
ever see your price change based on the computer you're logged into?
No.
Apple computers are a little more expensive pricing, and Windows computers a little cheaper.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to. I guess I need to go back over here to share this. Just stop sharing that one. Okay. Oh my gosh. Why does the button not there when I'm in full screen? All right. So auto and marine rubber weather seal. That actually looks pretty legit. But what was interesting is that wasn't. There was a different. Oh, you just sent an image. Can I drop this in over here? Let's bring it up in Slack. Never mind. There's some sort of I don't know. I can't bring it up, and it'll take me too long to try to figure it out. Thanks, Rodney. We'll take a look at all that stuff. Come back over here for a second. Okay. William says every panel should have holes in them. A short bolt with a serrated washer for bonding is all you would need beside a T-nut. Tightening down from the underside. Use sticky side EDPM between. Okay.
Yeah, the tape that sticky tape
Right.
between.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm following you there. Um,
Say, however you figure it out, you have to share, because I know that there's going to be a lot of folks that want to know how to do something like that without having to spend the premium price
well,
on those kind of
yeah.
carport aspects.
Right. And then Bebop just wants to know, what is the meaning to life? Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, love God and love others. There we go. But that's fun.
Yeah, but
Um,
then you have to see a few more down that are not QQQ,
oh, okay.
like this one.
Okay.
There's like 2 or 3 people that are like, "Oh, it's 42."
Okay. Uh, that's 42. There you go. Nice. All right. What else we have here? Red Bull, Rodney's nemesis name. Have you considered how the water running off the panels toward the roof shingle of your house? Yes. Yes. All right. Right. Could cause issues with the roof. Um, don't remember if yours is metal or metal roof. Mine is moot. Okay, my QQQ is moot. I'll pull that back up again. Where we at on time? We still got some time. Cool. Of course, I have to get out of full screen so that I can see it. So I can get back into this. And then back over here. All right. So that's a great question. And that's not how we do this. Let's move over from modeling to visualizing and
We're all
close
getting
our
a CAD
tray.
demo.
That's right. I just don't remember how to close this, apparently. Ah, you click it. All right. So I'm going to, yes, mine is a shingle roof, which would absolutely cause problems if this water came rushing off. It would basically just pound up underneath the shingles and come into my house. Not ideal. So I'm going to have to put a gutter system on here. And so I'll make sure that I have enough space. And then these panels overhang the rafters enough so that I'm able to put a gutter and some flashing on here. Um, if I don't, it's going to be a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't think it'll be too bad. I think it's absolutely doable.
You might have to go with 6 or 8-inch gutters
Yeah,
on
yeah. I was
that
just thinking,
due to
just
the water
regular.
flow.
Yeah, it's going to be rushing down.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I did see a few comments. I don't think they had QQQs, but they were talking about wind. What
mhm,
kind of wind do you have where you're at? And, you know, if you're sealing all the gaps, is that going to cause and make it more of a sail because of the
mhm.
wind?
That's true. That is true. Um, so we are down in a bowl, so to speak, with trees. We've got 80 to 100-foot trees in every direction, all the way around the house. So we don't get a lot of direct wind that hits us. In fact, we're in this really bizarre little microclimate. That doesn't mean it doesn't get windy. In this next video coming out, yeah, there was a wind, just it was all over the place. Um, so I'm definitely going to have to make sure that I've got these um, all of these braces here, all built in a way that they can handle this stress. Um, and this is going off of, while this is not going to be a stamped engineered project, it's going off of plans that I've purchased for a other project um, that use the same spacing, same structure for a similar um, for similar situations. So I do believe it should be good to go. Um, but we'll double check, be sure. So thanks y'all for checking on that. Let's see. Yeah, off-grid 1B is just put a high ceiling under the panels. Yeah, I mean, if it comes to that, we can definitely do that. Randy says, I'm just buying 2 of the 4x6 and bolting them together. I'm building a carport and it doesn't need to be pretty. Gotcha. This is Opilone. Is that how you say that? Have you seen High Voltage Homestead and see his array? He said it's pretty cost effective and not too expensive to do. I've not. I'll check it out. William says, I see Carrier is testing heat pumps with integrated batteries. Ooh, that's interesting. I've not heard that either. They would the second, I guess they would be the second company that are getting their feet wet or feet in the water that way. Nothing in production yet. Huh, interesting. Integrated batteries into a heat pump. Is that just so that, when the power goes out, you still have a little bit of, I guess, heating or cooling? It just seems like it'd be a pretty large footprint.
It almost makes me wonder if it's in conjunction with DC powering the unit from solar. So maybe
Yeah.
maybe you can store up some of that excess power. See, that's where some of these hybrid units seem to lose a little bit, because you put these solar panels on these units and they're only using the power when the unit's running, but
Mm,
then you're losing that solar potential at all the
yeah.
other time.
Right.
I'd love to have some way to use the battery to store some of that extra energy for running later, or being able to divert that power
Right.
to another system if you've got multiple systems to use.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's like they're setting the stage for a PV Direct AC unit or heat unit that has the ability. And this is the other thing, is that sometimes a cloud will blow over and your voltage drops just below what you need in order to run just off of DC. And so then you've got to now start supplementing with AC. And if you don't have the AC to supplement, then your unit's going to shut off. But if you had the battery that was built in, that really wasn't even that big, but was just supplying just enough to get you over that little bit of a hurdle, uh, that's actually a really great use case for it. Randy wants to know, what size of an array am I going for? So, excuse me, I guess it depends. I have been looking at doing 40 to 50 panels. It depends on what I go with, right? If I go with, I was really looking at that Sun Lounge, and if the price was right, or if they wanted to work with me in some way, I was gonna do that. But they use the big panels, right? So you obviously need fewer of those. Um, I don't know. I think it depends on what racking system I find or decide to build. Um,
Do you know what panels you're going to be using? I mean, you said bifacial, but
yeah. I mean, ideally bifacial, right? That's just, I think it would be a missed opportunity to not. But
spray paint everything white underneath.
yeah, it would be whatever Signature has in excess or in stock or, on sale or whatever it is, or whatever, that basically would be it. Um, let's see. Okay. Everything shifted up while I was talking, so I got to find back where we were at. Okay. Retro Z Machine says, I think the batteries are for load shifting. Um, run the heat pump on energy
Oh, yeah.
collected from the grid at cheap hours. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that
Makes
could be interesting.
sense. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you've got variable prices, then for sure. Um, since you're in Texas, can't you just change your power provider? I can, but I cannot change it to. Well, everyone is getting rid of the free nights plan, so um, there is still, in all reality, there is still one more that I'm aware of that I could switch over to,
Buy
but I
yourself a
feel
little
like
time.
and buy myself a little bit of time. But I know myself, and we will be talking in 2028, and I'll still not have any solar panels. So
Still have the CAD drawing all ready to go.
that's right. That's what I've made this CAD drawing years ago, right?
Oh, did you
Um,
really?
it's I've had it a while.
Good
Yeah,
grief.
I've had it a while. Man, if you Google timber frame solar mount, one of my videos comes up from like 3 years ago where I was going to get this done. And it wasn't this one; it was a different, um, a different mount. Um, but yeah, it's been some time. So I need the kick in the pants, right? I need to like, okay, I don't know, poop or get off the pot, right? So let's get it done.
Well, you
Um,
have 2 months.
yeah,
Can you get
yeah. Can
a
I get it done
section
in
of
two
it done
months?
in 2 months? I mean, the nice thing
I
about this
hope
is you could
so.
really, I mean, you could start with a few bays and
Right, right.
do half of it to
So
start,
so
right?
so the thing is, the terrain like rapidly is this still showing? Yeah, the terrain
Mhm.
rapidly goes up. In fact, I'm gonna have to build this retaining wall right here, just simply because um, mud is constantly flowing toward my house. It's a nightmare. I built my house into the side of a hill and never properly did anything about it. So this needs to be put in first. Once I get that all the way in, then I can essentially go back and build out these last two piers, or last four rather, um and then put in, just these two bents, is that what those are called? And then build off of that one, right? And then I
Mhm.
could come back and I could get the next one, and I can come back and get the next one, and I could work my way over to where we've got the whole thing done. And it might go in phases like that. Um, it would be nice to have all of these bents built out so that I can rent, a telehandler and bring it in and just get them all upright in one fell swoop. Um, but Man, that's anyone who's followed my channel long enough knows that I'm a dreamer and I have a hard time following through with stuff. So that's where we're at. So I need this kick in the pants to just get it done.
Well,
And
you
I
got
really
it.
want this extra living space. So
Yeah. Yeah, that is gonna really make a nice deck.
I would even like to I've got a wood stove that it was actually in my childhood house, that it's followed us to a couple different locations, but my insurance won't let me put it in here. Um, and so I'd love to actually put that out here and make it kind of a focal point, just to have, um, and obviously not have it surrounded with wood, but
Yeah.
do something to make it to where it could be a radiant heat source while we're out here on the porch in the 3 or 4 weeks of cold weather that we have.
Yeah.
All
What's the
right.
lows getting to where you are right now?
Hey, we dropped down. I think we got into the 50s, or dropped down into the low 50s, high 40s, if I'm not mistaken. But I really don't remember. It's just miserable is what I call it.
We're low 30s right now. It overnights right now. I mean, we might get back up into the 50s barely during the daytime.
Man, yeah, that's cold. I don't like that. Um, Randy wants to know, what is my post spacing? I'm thinking 14 feet apart, side to side, and 10 foot apart, front to back. Um, that's what you're thinking. I thought you were thinking from what I had. Gotcha. No, I've got them at, I think, 10 by 10 squared. Um, I was gonna do 12. I was gonna do 12s, but it ended up putting, like, you can kind of see somewhere in there. You can see like the little, oh, there it is, the indent for the back door. That's like the sliding back door, and then I've got a window for the boys like right here, and then um, the kitchen window, and then dining room window, and so it just, that's the 10 by 10 worked out to where it missed all of the windows. That's the only reason I did that. Um, how many kilowatts of solar are you shooting for? Man, I think when I was looking at it, if I max this thing out, I think I'm going to do like 24 kilowatts, um, which would be nice.
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice. Um, Rodney says use the Canadian Solar 965s. Honestly, I've been looking at that, Rodney, because you mentioned that a few days ago, and um, I I really think that I might do that. It would just eliminate so much of um, the hardware and the caulking around the stripping and all that stuff. It make things heavy, hard to get up there, but I don't have to deal with the freight issue, which is, those big ones, as you were saying a
Yeah.
couple weeks back. You have to have it delivered to a freight yard, but I'm just going to drive up there and get it loaded up on the flatbed trailer anyway. So, um, yeah, I think, I think you're 100% right. Just go big. Get these big ones on there.
We're after 9 o'clock already.
Oh man, we really are. Let's see. I was going to see if there was a lightning round. If we could do like 10-second question answers. QQQ. Um, Solar carport engineer did okay. So, okay, I'll have to check that one out. You're locked in until 2030 with free nights. Nice. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Um, what size post? 4x4s? No, 8x8s. And mine is 14, so it's easier to park a truck between. That makes perfect sense. I'm not going to drive a
Hmm.
truck up there. And then the last one, what you going to do with your old panels? If you're already said, I didn't catch that. Man, honestly, I'll make a deal for whoever, whatever wants to come pick them up. I can't guarantee they're in great condition, but if anyone's interested in local, let me know. I do want to
That's
get my
those,
other ones. Do want to get my other ones first, though.
those
Just they're,
Facebook specials.
yeah, yeah. So that's it, man. Yeah. There we go. Why does it do that? Why does it do that? That went fast. That went really fast.
Yeah.
But man, thanks everybody for all of y'all's input. I actually feel like I came away with more clarity than I had an hour ago. So, I mean, obviously there's a lot more to filter through, but felt good. And it's fun to change things up just a little bit. Sorry if we didn't get to any burning questions that you guys have, but y'all are usually smarter than us most of the time. Anyway, Adam, I'll let you say your final words, and then I'll close this out.
Well, thanks for hosting tonight, Eric. It was fun. And like I said, we need you to figure out how to make this whole DIY pergola aspect
Mm.
work? Because I know even in my house, I've got a spot that I know I want to put a solar pergola over. If water comes through from my aspect, it's not that big of a deal, but it would nice to have a dry space underneath. So
Mhm.
if you can figure it out to where I don't have to, how did you put it? Hobo all the panels together again. Um, that would be nice. To be clear, in my coop, having solar roof on both sides, I think I only have 4 little drip spots, 2 on each side. So
That's impressive.
it's not too
Yeah.
bad for all those seams. I mean, the chickens and the ducks don't care. Um,
Yeah.
but uh, yeah, I've got. It's one of those. So many projects. You got to really pick one and just go ahead and do it. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm going to try and do this weekend. See if I can get another video done and ready to go. I'm trying to not take on more projects, but like I said at the beginning of the video of the stream tonight, I'm already looking at adding some more solar panels onto the barn roof. So that's another project I wasn't planning on. So
Nice.
uh not enough time in the day, but that's the age-old problem that everybody has. So thanks again, everybody,
Yep.
for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Eric,
Yeah. Don't forget
I'll let you
to
finish it
smash
up.
the like button before you go. And also subscribe if you're not subscribed. We're really trying to hit 500 so we can start up a membership so we can do some really cool after hours stuff with you guys. But we need that 500 first. So we're trying to get there. I've talked all night, so I'm going to sign off. Just Eric with East Texas Homestead and Home Energy Independence, and encouraging you to live faithfully and prepare thoroughly for good times or bad. We'll see you next week or on one of our videos on other channels. Bye, y'all.